So that's
Perfect. Good. So that'll be the direction we'll go. And then I've got, tonight's action. If you want to react to the weekend, that's fine.
This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Oh, man, thankfully. Boom, boom, boom. Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Internet world, West Alabama. How are we doing today on this Monday morning? It is the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. Hope you and yours are doing well. Thanks to everybody for watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on my own social media machines. Let's have us a fun Monday with our friend Theo Fernandez. You follow me at Joe Gaither6. You follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez __ on the Twitter machine. Go out and give him a follow. You can find all of his great work doing for Bama Central. And man, you're kind of like with all kinds of different orders. Are you still doing anything with WVUA?
I actually am. Yes, I'm still going in there working with Gary, and it's a great time. Anytime.
Next time you see Gary, tell him I said hello.
I will. That'll probably be later today.
Well, go good. To catch him off guard. That'll catch him off guard. He'll go, oh. He'll either react positively or negatively, but it will catch him off guard for a second.
And of course, I see Hunter Brantley there just about every day. Too.
I miss Hunter. I'm sorry. I owe you an apology from last week. Last week's episode I thought was actually good, but the audio connection was a Joe Gaither error. And so I robbed Hunter Brantley of 40 minutes of good content he could use on his reel. And so, yeah, that was a big fail from last week. But we are live. We are rocking and rolling today on a Monday on the Joe Gaither Show in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. Cannot wait to get into today with Theo Fernandez. But first, we need to tell you we are proudly sponsored by Derek Daniel and his team. You can call Derek upstairs 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call today for quick auto insurance quote, auto home life insurance quote. You can get in and out. Derek Daniel is your local agent who will get you back on track. So give him a call, 205-758-3391. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. What are we going to do today on a Monday? The basketball season is officially over. It's been over for a week now, but now we're really getting into off-season stuff. It's the final week of spring practice. Oh, my gosh. I got my credential email from University of Alabama for Saturday. I will be in Bryant-Denny Stadium for 8A. Will you be in Bryant-Denny Stadium? If you're not, you won't see any football. No 8A on TV. So make sure you get into Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday. I'll be there. We'll talk a little 8A today. I want to talk about Jaleel Bethia. I want to talk about, oh, gosh. Theo, have you taken any psychology classes yet? Have you taken any Psych 101, 102 at UA?
I took AP Psych in high school, so if we go back a couple of years, I got the experience.
All right, perfect. I need your help. I need you to help me because I went through it on Saturday night. Oh, no. Was that Saturday day? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. All my days run together. No, they scrimmaged on Friday. The football team scrimmaged on Friday. And so that's where the news happened. On Friday, midday Friday. And I've been in a depressed state ever since Mo Dioubate went into the transfer portal. So we'll talk about Mo Dioubate as well. What are my other notes here? Oh, gosh. Jalen Milroe and the NFL draft. It is April. We did not talk about the draft at the very beginning of the month, but now – what are we, 3 weeks away, Theo? 2-3 weeks away from the draft. 2-3 weeks away from WrestleMania. It is the Masters week. Oh, my gosh. The sports calendar is going crazy. I know it's not football, but lots of great events. Theo, are you a Masters guy?
You see, I progressively have gotten more and more into golf over the last 2 years. So now it's at the point where, the Masters are on. I'm watching. And, I'm sure if you ask me this question in a year, I'll be watching a lot more golf.
I think there's something about golf and men and age because when I was young, I didn't care about the Masters, but somewhere around 17, 18, 19, it was like, this is a cool event. And then around 24, 25, it was like, this is a great event. And now at 30, 35, it's like, you got to watch it. Make your calendar around it. It's historic. I wonder, what was this? Tiger Woods winning it on on one leg. I don't know. I mean, just so many great Masters moments, and to me, it makes me think about my dad a lot. So, great week ahead of sports, starting tonight with the national championship game, Florida and Houston. If you need to cough, I think that you are right there. It's no big deal, but I think that one's yours. They didn't hear you. It's all good. Tonight, Houston and Florida. Oh my gosh! So we do need to talk about the Final Four over the weekend. Duke. Oh my gosh! What a choke! All right, so Theo, you see the topics. It's Julio Bethea, it's Dioubate, it's Corey Chest, it's Jalen Milroe, it's Final Four, it's Houston, Florida, it's spring practice, it's A-Day. So dealer's choice. You're only here once a week. What you want to start with?
First of all, with the games we watched Saturday were incredible. I mean, that was awesome. That is the best we've had since 2022. I was thoroughly enjoying it the whole time. Even like Auburn's up 9, Florida's getting back into that game. Man, we'll start with the SEC matchup because that one was great. I mean, seriously, that was high-level basketball. That's what SEC basketball has been all year. And that is perfectly indicative of everything that this conference represented, I'd say. I had a great time watching that one. And then that wasn't even the main event, but I guess we can start with Florida Auburn.
Brother, what you feeling like? I mean, Florida and Auburn, that's I am driving actually on Saturday. I went to New Era Wrestling up in Jasper, Alabama. So I'm paying attention to the games on my phone. And we're seeing Mason and myself, Florida take a little bit of lead, Auburn creep back in. But what I'm walking away from the gym, getting back on the Twitter machine and seeing Janai Broome, no points in the last 15-something minutes. What in the world happened in that second half to shut down the second best player in the country?
Yeah, I mean, Florida.
You could disagree. I saw that smile.
No, I agree. I agree with the statement. And it's funny because there are very big storylines involving the clear 2 best players in the country this year.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. That whole Auburn team, first of all, as much as Crimson Tide fans, we have a disdain for him. Chad Baker-Mazara left everything out there. He really did. You have to just sit back and respect his performance and what he tried to do for his team.
Do you think he had extra energy since he barely played in the tournament last year? You think he had extra juice to give that he could take it to that next level because all that saved energy from last season?
Yeah, right. They should be thanking Yale, if anything, right now.
Yeah. So Auburn lose. I'm seeing Janai Broome no field goals in the last 15 minutes. What happened with Bruce? Bruce and Steven. I thought they were the best. And I got a second question for you from our friend Steven Skarbanski. Steven Pearl. Kevin Skarbanski. Kevin Skarbanski went on his Twitter machine, and Alabama basketball historian. So I really want to make it clear that he is very knowledgeable. He's not saying this just because he felt it, but basically his statement in his Twitter was kind of a keep your head up, Auburn. It's okay, you had a good year. But in his statement, it's best basketball season in state history. And I'm thinking, okay, for my knee-jerk reaction is no. Of course not, Kevin. And really, that's my knee-jerk reaction to any statement is to try to look for the no in it, look to disprove it. But now I'm thinking, I'm like, well, Alabama, your only Final Four run was last year. And honestly, if you got fanboy Joe in an honest moment and asked him how he felt about last year's team before the tournament, it was like, oh, ship all these guys out of here. I mean, get them all gone. I could not stand why the defensive effort was not good. And so, no, I don't know that Alabama. I'm not a historian, no. So maybe Brian Pastic can let us know. I'll reach out to a couple of people. Michael Southern. I'll reach out to a couple of people for sure. I don't have a very good Alabama single season to prop up as. I mean, you've got the Brandon Miller year where you get the number 1 overall seed, but you go out in the Sweet 16. So I'm talking a lot, Theo. What do you think of Kevin's statement of this was the best season in state history?
First of all, Kevin, if you're not following him on X, absolute must. I met him at SEC Basketball Media Day in October.
Super nice.
He's a very nice guy.
His kindness is only eclipsed by his knowledge, I think. He's so nice, but like you can throw out any random high school basketball. Be, oh, yeah, that kid. He is a.
It's incredible. Yeah. I don't know because I think Auburn has to have the top 2 teams, right? I think it's got to be this team in 2019. For 2019, without Chuma Okeke to come so close to taking down the national champions in a game that I didn't have a single crimson bone in my body at the time. And I was watching that game and I did not think it should have been a foul.
You're not going to sit here and tell the audience you felt bad for Auburn, are you?
I mean, in the moment.
You can tell them that. It's okay, Theo.
Also, as an 8th grade kid who was still upset at Virginia for losing to UMBC after I picked them to win the championship the year before, I might have been a little openly rooting for Auburn at the time.
Darn.
Unfortunate things you regret having to say. It's just like me and
that's okay, Theo. We forgive you.
Yeah, me and the LSU hoodie I used to wear all throughout high school.
We do
any
not
picture of that.
We don't want to have a confession hour with LSU on the show because
we don't.
There may or may not be a 7 or 8 year college football dynasty on my PlayStation, not with Alabama.
Wow.
Hey man, hold that tiger. Dun, 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 dun.
Everyone's got things to hide nowadays in 2025. But look, I mean, honestly, I think, first of all, a game between the 2019 Auburn team and this one would be very fun. I think they're both probably in about the same tier. You went right down to the wire with a team that's either going to win the championship or lose in the championship. So best or second best, I don't know. But I think you do have to concede that the best team in Alabama State history does come from that Cal College.
Gosh, Bruce raised the bar even more. Nate raised it last year, I think, I think what Nate did last year was prove to the state of Alabama that their regular season is not as, it's important. It's very important. I don't want to make it sound like it doesn't matter. It does matter. But I think what he did was really provide that statistics, provide that anecdote, provide that personal experience of knowing, oh, anything can happen in March. We can get hot. I'm not sure that a 2019 Auburn team, they were they a 1 seed? Were they a 2 seed? They were up there, weren't they?
They were
1
or 2.
So great. Bruce, you raised the bar again. But you come home. Oh, I felt so bad for you. I felt so sad. We're at the wrestling match, and then Auburn lost, and people right there in Jasper. So it was great. And then Duke. Oh my goodness gracious. This is the perfect place to start. I've got a friend who tags us tags Mason and myself at halftime. Houston is 1 of 14 from the mid-range. 1 of 14 from mid-range and losing. And I'm thinking to myself, 13 wasted shots. Now, granted, not watching the game. I'm sitting there watching wrestling. And then the event ends, great. Easy time. We get back to the car, and this all ended. I dropped Mason off as they lost. Yes. I dropped Mason off back at his house as they lost. He's watching in the passenger seat, commentating what's happening as the comeback. You're up 6. Was it 6 with 30 seconds left or more?
Yeah, 6 with 30 seconds.
John Shire. Now, did we have the conversation last Monday about John Shire talking about looking for mentally tough players? And
yes.
All right, just making sure that was with you. It all runs together. John, did I say last week that was a hooey statement about we wanted to look for mentally tough players? No, you said that. You just went out and got the best, the most talented players. Sure. I'm sure Cooper Flagg is a mentally tough guy. Malawash, a tough guy. I'm sure that, Knipple is, hard-nosed fella. But you just went out and got the most talented players that you could get. And no one's hating on you for that.
Well, you see, I disagreed with your take. Like you said it. And
if he did get them mentally tough, or if he did get mentally tough players, they wouldn't have blown the lead.
No, yeah, exactly. You're fully proven right now. I thought, yeah, you know what? Okay, Shire could have brought in anyone he wanted. He chose these guys. No, you chose these guys because they were talented. Because
there's nothing wrong.
How did your season end? Yeah, that is how your season ended. And that is the legacy of this Duke team.
Miss free throws down the stretch. Now I'll tell you. The Cooper Flag shot at the end is why I hate the mid-range jumper. Now, granted, you could get a different shot. You can call a different play, sure. But very clearly, Shire calls basically ISO, give him the ball, let him work it out, and drives almost to the rim, stops, and it's like the 13-foot fadeaway. You are falling away. Yes, it's not far away, but you're like, what, 12 feet? You are falling away in real time. And what happens to the shot? The shot is 3 inches short, is an inch and a half short because you're falling away. Because it's not a good shot. Because the reason you're falling away is because it's in the mid-range and the players are covering you. And you're falling away to give yourself the extra space to get the shot up. Yes, you're 6 foot. What is he, 9'10"? He is a monster. He's huge, so he can shoot over anyone. But you're falling away from 13 feet from the middle of the lane, and you're an inch short on the shot.
All right. Do you think the Lamont Butler shot in 2023 was a bad look?
Your memory is better than me. Hold on.
San Diego State, the buzzer beater against FAU.
Brother, your memory is better than me.
Okay.
I'll be able to tell you because too much trauma, too much drugs, too many sleepless nights. Lamont Butler, you said 2023.
Just look up shot and it'll
shot. Perfect. Lamont Butler buzzer beater since San Diego State. Okay, come on, give me a video. AI Google, you have ruined everything. You have ruined my life.
That one should, yeah.
On this day, okay, yeah, perfect. Here we go.
Do you think this is a bad shot?
Do I think that's a bad shot? He's at the baseline. He works his way back a little bit. No. I mean, no. It's a better shot than Flag got. It's a lot better shot than Flag got.
I just fundamentally, look, hate's a strong word.
You can use hate. Hate is an okay word.
I dislike the mid-range jumper as much as any basketball man. Right? Like, we all understand that it's a flawed shot and something that you should be taking very rarely. When it comes down to a last-second moment where you need the ball and your star,
he's not falling away there. He's not he's not fading away from the basket here. That's the issue.
Look, you have a lot of time to draw up a play there if you're John Shire.
That's the point. Go, Theo.
You gotta have something better. But obviously, you're not going to give that ball up if you're Flag. You are that. That's your ball. You are the team. It's your shot to take. The play starts to unfold that way, and I don't know. I really can't complain that much about a star player trying to make the difference in the last minute. And if you're Cooper Flag, man, you're going to think about that every day for the rest of your life. If there was any situation where he was serious at all in any way, shape, or form about coming back to Duke, I'd say missing the game-winning buzzer beater in the Final Four is probably something that pushes someone off the edge. He won't come back to Duke. I mean, I'd be shocked.
I lost.
I really would be. It would be awesome. As a college fan, I would love it, but I can't see it happening.
No, it's not going to come. It's not going to happen. He's going to be the number 1 overall draft pick and get himself lots and lots of money, and he's going to go play for the Spurs, I guess. And
if Washington wins that lottery,
dude, if Washington wins the lottery, come back to school,
right?
That's a horrible, horrible, horrible prospect. They go. Houston ends up after going 1 of 14 from the mid range in the first half. They finished the entire game 23 of 61. They're 37% on the night. Ended up making more 3-point shots. Maybe that has a little bit of an impact on the game. Maybe, perhaps. But you look at this. Oh, you want to talk about Kelvin Sampson before we move into the actual Alabama stuff?
Yeah, because he is such a special coach, and let's spin things right back to Tuscaloosa right now.
Do it.
Up 13 points with 8 minutes to go.
Your memory is great.
That's the situation Duke was in. Sound familiar at all? A team up about that much, honest, about that much time?
Out at Houston 2 years ago?
No, I'm talking about 2 Saturday nights ago in Newark. You watched that game, and I know you didn't have the chance to sit down and watch all of it. It felt, as a viewer, like Duke was up a lot more than the 10 to 15 points they led by for much of that second half. To me, it felt like I felt the way I did watching that Alabama game. It did not seem like we would get any kind of comeback. It seems Duke too well coached, too composed. Another coach got his team even more composed. Houston.
How did he do it, Theo? As you said, I wasn't. Well, how did he do it?
Well, first of all, Duke went ice cold, and we are not a Kelvin Sampson team. We never will be a Kelvin Sampson team. No team is a Kelvin Sampson team because he is a one-of-a-kind coach.
Did you see that loose ball drill that got out on Twitter this week?
Yeah,
Nasty.
awesome.
Nasty.
You see the fact that the whole team on average runs a 5:17 mile. And are you kidding me? That is unreal. It's unreal. So we're not them. Duke was never going to make one field goal over the final 10 and a half minutes like they did against Houston. And a lot of that comes down to luck. I mean, so much of shooting comes down to luck. Some shots just don't fall. There was some of that involved for the Cougars, but they were so locked in, so dialed, so composed, and it really was just a masterclass in how to pull off a comeback, because once they got rolling, you instantly realized, wait a minute, Duke is all of a sudden in some trouble. And I'm shocked that John Shire blew that lead. I really am.
You don't think it has anything to do with the ACC not being as good this year, do you?
No, don't give me any of that. I don't want to hear a single word about that.
Not being tested, not being battle tested.
I don't, because look at how many great teams Duke has played this year.
Sure.
You know, you don't schedule games against Auburn, and you schedule games against Auburn and Kentucky for that reason. Duke was battle tested.
November was a long time ago, Theo.
Now, let me say this. The Big 12 was good this year.
Sure, yes.
It was a good conference.
You know who finished third in the Big 12 this year?
Who finished third?
BYU.
Huh. Interesting.
Just heard that they were not good teams, so.
If Duke had lost this game to an SEC team, then the argument starts to come in where, okay, look, this SEC team, they played, 14 out of their 15, or it would probably be 13 out of 15 of their SEC opponents also made the tournament. That's where it might be something you look at, but I think there's been way too much focus on conferences and how good your conference is.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Yeah, I think it's, it gets clicks. People like to debate it. Fan bases like to get heated over it. Everyone likes to gang up on the SEC. At the end of the day, who cares?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is we talked about the SEC this year in basketball, and we've talked about it in football for many years, and people automatically go, "Oh no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong." And it's like, brother, I don't care who the best conference is. If the best conference is the ACC last year, great. In basketball, awesome. If the best conference was, probably the Big East last year with UConn and Creighton right up there. So, yeah, I don't care. Great. UConn and Creighton and the Big East were the best conference in basketball. Like, I think people infuse lots of emotion into that discussion and infuse lots of us versus them. But it's like, the splitting of hairs that you're doing here between conferences is so, I think, pretty thin that it doesn't matter.
Right.
And ultimately, I'll just tell you, I don't really care about the other 15 schools in the conference. Just don't really care. I hope they all lose. That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
And I'm sorry to cut you off
No, you
there,
didn't.
but
You didn't.
remember, the bigger your sports playoff tournament is, the less it all matters. Like, we will never have a 2023 college football playoff selection situation. Like, it'll never be that big of a deal in basketball. And it never will be in football again with how big the playoff is now. You know, there was a time for about a decade during the playoff, and this ended with that Alabama over FSU decision where the biggest thing that mattered in that decision was the conference. I don't think we'll ever be in that position again. And I don't think it's ever something that we should talk about that seriously with the sport of basketball. I think it's a really fun debate to have. I enjoy it. I've engaged in it many times. I'm sure I will all off season and all of next season.
But when Houston wins tonight, does it mean the SEC has a bad year?
No, not at all. 2 Final Four teams, a record-breaking amount of Sweet 16 teams, a record-breaking amount of tournament teams.
Go Cougars.
This was an absolutely special, and yeah, that's another thing. I don't want to have to root for a team just to defend my conference.
I'm rooting for Kelvin Sampson tonight because of the 3 great games that Alabama's had with Houston over the last 3 years, which I don't have a clue how Alabama's 3-0 against them. Do not have a clue.
Oh, yeah, it's absurd.
They go out to Houston, 2 years ago, and I thought that was the game you were describing. They got to Houston. They were down 20 at halftime and slowly dug themselves back into the game.
I hope we get them again next year.
Coach, you need to put Houston on a permanent resident on the schedule.
Houston and Creighton every year.
Not Creighton. If I never play Creighton again, it's fine. Creighton can fall. It can black hole into oblivion. But I think Houston is great for character building. I think Houston is. Please put us through the meat grinder for 40 minutes and see what we need to work on. See if we can come out on the other side a little bit better. Oh yeah. But that's the basketball tonight. We'll close the game. We'll close the show with a prediction or two. Why don't we spin it to Alabama just for a little bit? Because we've been talking about the weekend. We need to talk about Alabama sports right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. You can leave us a comment at Joe Gaither6. Give us a call on the voicemail line, 205-462-7340, extension 800. I would love to take your voicemail on 2 transfers. One, we need to start with the departing Dioubate. Unfortunate, terrible, sad, heartbreak. I've got about 5 or 6 different thoughts in my head about the transfer. So as I sort it out, I'm just, Theo, why? Dioubate, why?
Well, I think I know the reason why, and I think that reason is named Rick Pitino. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. But then you also look at Mo, and you remember the way he plays, and you remember why we love him so much as a player. And you remember that just about every contender in the country should be throwing him a huge offer. He's a winning basketball player. He's everything that, especially a team like St. John's obviously seems like such a natural fit, a program that plays that way. But there is no team in the country that would not benefit from having him on their roster playing big minutes. And you look back at, after that Elite Eight loss, and one of the things he said post-game was, I know what I deserve in regards to his role and in regards to wanting to start next year. And he certainly is going to get the chance to do that at a very, very esteemed program. And it's one of those things where you hate to see him go, but you fully understand why he's making this decision to leave.
Yeah, he plays in 37 games this year for the Crimson Tide, averages 16 minutes a game, 7 points a game. We don't care about that, really. It's the almost 6 rebounds a game. Almost 6 rebounds, one assist, a block, and a steal per game as well.
And you guys know as well as anyone that stats are far from the first thing we should ever be talking about with Mo.
See, I think the Yes, fans, yes. But I think Mo Dioubate sees this box score and might think, hey, buddy, what happens to that? What happens to all these numbers when the first number, 16 minutes per game, goes to 25, 28, 32 minutes per game?
Which just won't happen in Tuscaloosa.
Exactly. That's the reason. You talk about Rick Pitino and maybe you know what I deserve. Maybe there's some money at play. I don't think really the money is a huge factor. I don't think it's a huge factor. I think it's opportunity. I think it's minutes is the goal right here. Because look, Mo is established in Tuscaloosa. Mo is loved in Tuscaloosa. Mo is, he's been a staple of the program for 2 years. The fans love him. Everybody knows what you got in Mo, and everybody and their mother wants him to be on the floor more. I think Nate even wanted him to be on the floor more. But there were 12 other really, 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 really talented basketball players on, in the program. You got, I think sacrifices have to be made when there's that much talent. And I wonder if Modi's done sacrificing his minutes. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
It's understandable. And then you see the fact that you got, okay, Grant and Cliff are gone. Here are 2 new transfer big men to take their places. And then everyone kind of sees the writing on the wall with Aiden Sherrill.
2 new transfers. I only saw one. I only saw the Noah Williamson. Bethea's a guard.
Yeah, well, we have
Did I miss one?
yeah, Bull.
I missed the Florida State young man.
Bull Bowen, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Well, great. I missed the Florida State young man. Yes, in my brain. Totally unregistered. Was that a Friday afternoon thing as well? I
believe it was. Yeah.
Oh, from Friday afternoon till about 10 minutes ago, my brain was in La La Land.
So it's just, I would love nothing more than to see him back in Crimson.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. It would make no sense for his career, even if, I'm going to throw something else out there, even if we were promising him 28 minutes a game, you're the starting power forward. I think there are a lot of teams whose play styles would be more conducive to Mo really becoming a true star.
Oh, definitely. I think that Mo now has 2 years of tape that he can give to NBA teams, being like, "Yo, I can be Draymond Green for you." But now he's going to go to a place that might make him a little bit more of an offensive focus. I think might we heard about the off road package this year that we called some plays for him. I think he's going to look for a little bit more opportunity is kind of the bottom line. I wouldn't be surprised if it were at St. John's. I wouldn't be surprised if it were at South Florida either with Brian Hodgson. Just a small thought there. But I think most of the opinion is that he's going back northeast, back towards home.
One more take on Mo.
Nah, don't break my heart. Go ahead.
He has never he's never been a high volume shooter.
Yes.
He kind of hit his shots this year. Now he took about 1 every 3 games, so he totaled around like under 20 on the season. But then even like you'd watch him in the shoot arounds, you'd watch him in like the open practice. I remember watching him hit a step back 3 the first open practice, He's trying to show teams he can be Draymond Green. Draymond Green knocked down his shots. You have to be able to do that. And you see that offensive development because it really has come so far already. I mean, that 22-point performance, he would never have had that as a freshman. And he had that this year for us in incredible show. How high is that ceiling? I'm excited to see it because we really don't know. It's so untapped, and I really do hope that he can find the coach who can unleash it to the fullest degree.
Mo, we miss you. Golly, that broke my heart over the weekend, and I think that is Theo. We've talked about it with Mason before, but I think that this right here is what kills college athletics. Not the one-shot bullet to the brain death, but the slow cancer death of just, man, I've watched Mo for 2 years. I wanted to see him in a Crimson uniform at least one more year and then say, hey, go have fun in the NBA. Or at least two. Like, man, watching Mo play for St. John's, for whoever, Western Tech, Carolina U, I don't care. It is going to be sad. It's going to be sad. It's going to make me, I will be doing my job, yes, but it will make me think much more. This is a job, and much less. This is great. It just is. It's icky. I think that is a college hero makes himself a hero based, ingratiates him to the fan base, and then leaves for opportunity. And you can't. This is not about you, Mo. Like, I'm not disparaging you one bit. I think that situations like this are why college athletics are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and then you remember that this just about every school has probably lost a fan favorite player.
Yes.
If not this year, the year before. And then you also remember that we're not even talking about like a star here. I love Mo. I think he will be a star. He's a role player for us. And those types of guys, those glue guys, that's who we rally around as fans. Because Alabama, we are always going to have someone, as long as Nate Oates is the coach here, we're always going to have some guard who averages 16 to 20, leads the way, and look at our star power. Will we have in the future, as time progresses, will we continue to have these guys like Mo that you can rally behind, that we love, that are the fan favorites? I don't know if that's something that will exist as much as it has.
Yeah, I think finding a player who embraces the blue collar and just embraces the dirty work is very rare. And I think that those players become fan favorites very quickly. And really, I think that those players are rare even in recruiting. And I think they're just rare in this day and age. With the day and age of let me score my points.
And I'm not even just to clarify, I'm not even trying to I'm not trying to say that.
What are you trying to say,
Basketball
Theo?
players are getting softer. I'm not saying that
They are.
Well, they are, but I'm not even saying that players like Mo are going to stop existing. I'm talking about as far as the way that a fan base has those guys to rally around. Because look, a lot of guys will be able to come in here and embrace blue collar for a year. But then you embrace blue collar and you're doing all this, and then another school wants to pay you more and give you more minutes to go do the same thing for them. That's what makes it hard for fans to build these connections with players. And that's what I think is the most pressing issue as far as maintaining interest for certain schools and people. I think it's a problem.
I think so too. We were right on the precipice of a problem becoming bigger. Let's take a quick break. We will play our War and Tire ad, and then we'll come back and talk about Jaleel Bethea and Taylor Bowl Bowen.
So my name is Russ Warren, and I'm one of the owners here at Warren Tire. We started in 1961. My granddad on University Boulevard, so we've been kind of a staple here in the Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama community since then. And so thankful to be in the third generation. And we have 2 locations now in Tuscaloosa. We're right here at the 15th Street location right now, where we just do tires, brakes, and alignments mostly here. Our university location does oil changes, engine work, air conditioning work, front end work, the whole 9 yards. And so any of our 2 locations, you can come check us out.
It's Warren Tire and Auto, and we cannot wait to keep our relationship going with Warren Tire and Auto. I think I need to do an oil change pretty soon, so I'll see them on University Boulevard If you need new tires, though, you're seeing them on 15th Street. You got 2 great locations to serve you. Warren Tire and Auto, proud sponsor of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. And you could be a sponsor for the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We would love to build a commercial for you. We'd love to tell everybody about your business. So just reach out to us at Joe Gaither 6 on your favorite social media machine. So we cried a lot of tears, Theo, about, you got something for us, or these are notes? Okay, good. I thought you were about to break some news. No, you got notes for the next segment.
Notes,
Great. Look at this man. So prepared. We cried all our tears about Mo Dioubate, but this is the age of the transfer portal. Transfer portal taketh one of our favorites. But maybe he's going to give us 2 new favorites. Who you want to start with, Taylor Bowen or Jaleel Bethea? We are going down, rating the 2 ACC Florida schools. We're taking a talent from Florida State and a talent from Miami. And we'll see how they assimilate themselves to Tuscaloosa. Which player do you want to start with?
Well, I have a lot more to say about Bethea.
Perfect. Then we can start with there. Go ahead.
I love this. I absolutely love the pickup.
6'3".
Number 7 player in the country a year ago. I mean, that kind of pedigree is huge. And there's one very obvious comparison, and it's an easy comparison. And it is a lazy comparison, and I'm still going to make it. This is Aiden Holloway. This is an absurdly talented guard with a ton of hype coming into school that was unable to really be used to his full potential, was kind of inefficient under a coaching staff that I think didn't really know what to do with him. Now, it's a lot different than Bruce Pearl just, had a great team and didn't really know what to do with Aiden Holloway, whereas Miami was an absolute train wreck. And we talked about it earlier, and I was like, Jim Larinaga, did he didn't quit on the team? And Joe, you interjected, said, yeah, he did.
I'm sorry.
I think we both love him as a coach. I always have, from the Bronx. Incredible.
George Mason.
Yeah. Took them, and then that 2013 Miami team to the Elite Eight, beating Marquette. That was a great squad. That was a really fun one. And look what he did just 2 years ago, right?
He said, I don't want to deal with this NIL mess no more. I'm getting out of here.
It's crazy. That last Miami Final Four run was really just one of the more surprising. I did not see that one coming.
Who was the baseball player's son? Was it Larkin Jr.? Shane Larkin?
Oh, yeah, Shane Larkin, and went on to, he was Barry Larkin's son.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Barry, yeah.
Went on to go play for the Nets.
Beat the Nets. All right, so Jaleel Bethea, 6'3", and he's coming into Tuscaloosa, sophomore, averaged 7 points a game, 2 rebounds, an assist. Look, the first thing that I see is bigger guard. Sorry, that's the lowest of the low-hanging fruit, but bigger guard. Thank you. We don't know what the heck LeBaron Filan's going to do right now. I think he has a real decision on his hands. But regardless, you might have LeBaron and Bethea and Latrell and Aiden, and now Aiden becomes probably your smallest guard, which that's a formula I am more of a fan of. I don't want Aiden to be, what was he, the second small? Mark was smaller than him, and I don't know. You were seeing a lot of stuff about Honor Huff from Chattanooga this weekend, number 1 3-point shooter in the transfer portal, and that would have been fun, great. But the man is listed at 5'10", so he's probably 5'8". I'm sorry, I don't want to be like, it's called ageist when you get onto somebody about age. What is it about when you talk about height? Heightism, dwarfism, what's the ism? It's not racism about we don't like short people. And I'm starting to develop a little ism about short guards. I think that Mark was amazing, and I think his legacy is incredible, and I have nothing negative to say about it at all. But I would like it if over the next 50 years of Alabama basketball, Mark Sears becomes the smallest player that graces the halls of Coleman Coliseum.
Yeah, no, I agree, and this is something that needed to happen. We need the size. He would be, and I love the fact that we're preparing for the idea of, okay, maybe Filan's not back, because you have to. There's no other way to put it. They would obviously be so fun to watch together. I would love to see that. I would love nothing more than that. But if Phylon does walk away, here's someone that can kind of fill some of that role. I don't know if he has those kind of reflexes, if he's quite as reactive as Phylon is as a defender. I don't know enough about his game yet, but I'm sure that we will mold him into something that works out very well for our team. I'm very excited about this one.
All right, so this kid, Bethea, you get your coach that quits on. Will you Google Miami's record as we keep watching this? I know they didn't make the tournament, anything like that. They were bad after Larinaga quits. Basically, I think they were bad before he quit. Larinaga quit on the squad like in November, early December, and basically their season went into the tank. And so I wonder. I mean, you see a talented player. I wonder if this is just really good scouting from the Alabama side, thinking, oh, this is a player that we wanted last year because he was recruited by Alabama. And then, oh, their situation totally turned to crap. And so what we're seeing right here is fun. All these highlights that we're watching is fun. But I wonder what it's even worth, because I wonder what the investment of the entire team is, because our coach quit on us. We all aren't getting paid what we thought we were going to. We're all busting out of here anyways. I don't know. These are fun highlights. I am wondering if what we're looking at right here, what went through my head is AAU. It's not AAU, but is kind of a little more willy-nilly. What was Miami's record? It was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was atrocious, and
you just had it and clicked away from it.
I did, yeah, because I wanted to fully embrace this amazing stat, because some of you actually don't. Some of you may be unaware, but Miami did make history this year.
Oh no!
Yeah, they made history. It was a
good history or bad history?
First team in NCAA history to finish in 18th place in a conference.
So they were last.
Yeah. They went 3-17 in ACC play, 7-24 on the season.
So you're gonna have to get this guy to like care first, believe that you're on an actual basketball program. For like, I'm sure his coach will be able to do that. Nate and Preston and all of them will be able to do that. But like the first task with Jaleel Bethea is like, hey buddy, this is what high level college basketball is like, not what you were doing last year at Miami.
I just watched. Let's rerun.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's rerun this highlight.
Tell them what they're not watching.
Okay, so he has the ball top of the key. Clearly looks like he's going to shoot it from the beginning. He makes his move. He cuts in. He takes one step in front of the 3-point line and then pulls up.
Nate will sniper him if this happens next year.
That is 6 inches in front of the line, and he consciously moved himself there to take that shot.
Yeah, it was like, I got this 3-pointer. I could take a step to the right and forward by a couple inches. And
I've seen more. How long have we been watching this video?
It's a 12-minute video.
We're 7 minutes into this video, and I've seen him take more mid-range shots than he'll probably take all year in Tuscaloosa.
But I tell you what, he looks like he's going to be the next green light guy.
Oh yeah, and he should have it.
You want that 12-foot baseline? Green light for you. I'm seeing athleticism. I'm seeing a scorer, but I'm seeing nonchalant, a lot of nonchalant here. And I'm seeing a lot of I'm going into business for myself here, which is, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. When you're on the worst team in the league and your coach quit before league play even started, I think some of this stuff is natural to see.
I mean, look at these last clip. They're down 40. Yeah, they're down 40-16 in the first half to SMU.
They're not trying. They're all out there playing for themselves.
He's basically double teamed, pulling out. Now they're on the road against a Stanford team, getting doubled up in the first half. Like, this Miami team was bad, and I didn't even realize the full extent of just how bad they were.
Like, makes you like.
Have they been leading in a single highlight against an SEC? Wow.
This is a nice. Oh my gosh, we're gonna dribble, get ourselves to the free throw line, fade away, jump shot. I mean, the man's got some. He's a walking bucket, but I don't know how valuable any of these clips are, because I don't think they're. I don't think Miami's trying at all. Now here we are in the first minute of the game. We're 5-5, but now here we are down 9 in the next clip. Like, I think that all of this is, hey guys, who wants to go to school?
Yeah,
this looks like playing my high school basketball after school.
That's what this is going to be, by the way. I mean, this is like we're no coaching happened in the last year. We're just bringing in a 19-year-old freshman right now.
Oh my God, Coach! So you're Aiden Holloway? No. Aiden probably came to us a bit more prepared, being at Auburn.
Oh yeah, no. We like to joke about how Bruce Pearl didn't know how to coach Aiden Holloway, but he clearly got stuff out of the team. He was clearly a college player when he came here. I don't know that Bethea is going to be that because we just don't know what the situation was like. I'd like to think that Larinaga left him with something, but
he's got a shot. We'll say that his shot is pretty nice with it. Now, obviously, these are highlights, so every shot he's taking, he's making.
They're finally winning a game in this one, and that's against Syracuse, which it's just sad what's happened to that.
That is sad because my entire life was, Syracuse right on the edge of that blue blood kind of. Jim Larinaga, that zone defense would just
no more 2-3.
All right, so Jalil Bethea, great. What kind of grade are we giving this transfer? Is this a A+ transfer? It's not an F. We're not going there. It's go ahead.
Go A-.
A-.
I think this is a very favorable move. And then look, we know that anyone with this kind of pedigree, number 7 overall player, just a year ago, you have to just be really, really excited for that. If we landed the number 7 recruit in the country, we'd be partying right now.
I'm partying right now already. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
It's a party on the Joe Gaither show because of Jalil Bethea. All right, you go an A-. I think I like your optimism, but I'm going to probably go right on that B+ line, that 86, 87 line.
So my question is, like, when we do a grade like this, a lot of it's expectation based.
Sure.
So, like, what are your expectations for, like, what would constitute this being a successful transfer to you?
I think that a lot of that is tied in with the rest of the roster, how you play, how you fit in with the rest of the roster, and I think it's tied into team results. What makes this a successful transfer to me is if Jalil Bethea comes in here and whatever role is given to him, whether he's starting for next to Aiden Holloway, or he's backing up LeBaron and Philon, or he's starting next to both of them. Doesn't matter. I think what will constitute a successful transfer is if the offensive game that we're seeing here comes to Tuscaloosa. We haven't seen any defense because it's all a highlight package. We haven't seen a single steal. The only steal that's been on this package was a ball that was thrown away that he just picked up. I want to know what you're going to do on defense. I can see you making good shots. I can see you taking a lot of bad shots and making them, which is fine. Like if you're look, brother, efficiency is the number one. Is what it's all about. What will constitute a successful transfer is if the offense that we're seeing on this tape shows up in a more controlled setting, in a more structured setting, and some of this kind of these mid rangers, some of these kind of wild shots, you're gonna get them. It's gonna happen, but like happens in the context of the shot clock running down. Okay, fine, whatever. Late in the game. Okay, fine, whatever. I think what constitutes a successful transfer is less about Bethea himself and more about how he fits into the group. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'd agree. Fully agree.
So if he could come here and this is silly, and average 24 points and 6 rebounds and whatever the case may be. But if he's not playing defense, I don't care. Right? If he's taking a bunch of wild shots, I don't care. I want to see how a successful transfer to me comes to Tuscaloosa and puts the blue collar on and figures out where his shot is on the floor efficiently and then plays in that system.
I'm going to introduce you guys to something I like to call the LaMelo Ball fallacy.
Go ahead.
And it's exactly what it sounds like. I don't want LaMelo Ball on my basketball team because has he ever played winning basketball in his life? No. That's what I'll leave this whole argument with. He needs to be someone who...
We're arguing?
Not even we're not even arguing because I think we both fully agree on this for once somehow. There's just he needs to be a winning basketball player. That's all we ask out of him. That's all we ask out of Drew Williams, out of
Noah Williamson.
Noah Williamson. That's all we ask out of Bull Bowen.
Taylor Bull Bowen. Now, this guy was rumored a lot over the week to be in connection with Alabama. Let me get a little more info for him. Taylor Bull Bowen.
Very good athlete. 6'10". You know, common mile watch. That name ring a bell.
He's a little bit shorter than
He's
Malawach.
a little bit shorter. He's not Malawach, but that's, you know, I like starting out I like my introduction to a player to be the easy, lazy comparison. Just because I think that at the very least, it gives people a frame of reference.
I mean, Florida State was very bad too this year. So that's a concern of mine. We're taking two looks like quality players off of two very bad basketball teams. Florida State was 17-15 this past year, 8-12 in league play. Taylor Bull Bowen, 6'10", averaged 8 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, 1.5 blocks, 1 steal. Let's look at this little YouTube and see what we can find. I don't know. I mean, the immediacy becomes, what are you doing in the front in the front court with you lost Grant, duh. You bringing in Noah Williamson. You have lost Cliff. You don't know what's going to happen with Jaren. I'm now on Monday leaning towards the Jaren is staying camp and Darian Reed is going. I hope that I'm wrong on, but I hope that both of those guys stay actually. But I see so far a Cliff Amore light. Go ahead. What do you see in Taylor Bull Bowen?
Yeah, I mean, he is elite defensively. There are no doubt. This is one where obviously there are no doubts about him coming in and being able to be a winning player. Like, he'll clearly fit in very well with what Oates wants out of his bigs. And I think schematically this one makes a lot of sense. I think it gives us size that I don't know where we were going to get it from otherwise.
He looks like skinny. He looks like Dante Hall.
Interesting.
Do you remember Dante Hall? No, you were a child when Dante Hall was around.
I did not watch him play. I've seen some of his highlights in the time I've spent trying to get acclimated to basketball.
Yeah, that's what he looks like to me so far. He gets that steal on the end and then slowly comes up the floor. But he's got a little athleticism to him. Like, that's him. He got a steal and then he looks like Dante Hall to me.
Him and Sherrell next to each other could do, you know, anytime we want to run a small ball type lineup.
I love
I think it's a very fun pair.
That dunk, that alley-oop dunk, catching it from a weird place and dunking it, that is very Dante Hall. Shoot, if you are telling me that we just got Dante Hall in the transfer portal, no, he was not like the all-time greatest player at Alabama, but I just loved him. I thought he played with a lot of attitude, a lot of athleticism. All right, here we are, face up to the basket, and we pass it away. Very good.
Yeah, you know, he's in position for lobs. That'll be a lot harder to do. Again, Cliff knows very well it's a lot harder to catch lobs against SEC bigs.
Yeah, than against Western Carolina.
But he will be a constant pick and roll threat. It'll make a lot of teams collapse under a lot of screens.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's something that just should.
A little baseline shimmy for a shot for Taylor Bull Bowen. Ugh. Okay. All right.
He should
ran the floor very well.
Should do a lot of things for us spacing wise, a lot of stuff that we didn't really have with Cliff out there.
Why? Can he shoot? Is that what you're telling me? No, this man cannot shoot. 3-point percentage, 41% last year. 78% from the free throw line.
Yeah, no, that's why we brought him in. Or that's why he makes sense, I thought.
We will be stretching the floor. Okay, I like that a little bit more. No, Dante Hall could not shoot from the 3-point line, and that was not featured in Taylor Bull Bowen's little package here, 10-minute package here from ACC Digital Network. We appreciate you guys, but no, that's exciting. I mean, here's where I am with the transfers, and here's where I kind of am with all of the Alabama basketball recruiting at the moment. Alabama basketball recruiting, Theo, has gotten to a place where Nick Saban took football recruiting. Of course, I'm going to pay attention to the names. And of course, I will look up their packages when they sign and when they commit. But maybe this is just naivety, but I trust whatever Nate wants to do. I trust whatever Preston wants to do. You telling me that Taylor Bobo and and Dioubate are your two best fits, are your two most cost-effective options, then I trust you. Of course, I'm going to have some concerns for these two players coming in from losing programs, needing to learn the system, and that's just part of coaching. But I've just gotten to a place like over the weekend, I saw these names come in, and I mean, I'd heard of them and I knew them from the Twitter machine, but I didn't go do deep dives. Oh my God, I cannot wait for this guy, because Nate has proven over the last couple of years, whoever comes in, they're probably going to be a good fit. I mean, when's the last bus that you took?
Right. I mean, obviously you've had people, like a lot of people would say, "Oh, Chris Youngblood underperformed."
He did,
but he still played a role, and he still was a version of what he thought he would be. And
yeah, and I think a summer injury plays a lot to that. I agree that Youngblood was not exactly what you wanted, what you thought you were getting right when the transfer when you got him out of the portal. But circumstances happen, and like that's the other part. I think that people just ignore the circumstances. If you want to call Chris Youngblood a bust, whatever, you're silly. But it's fine if you want to.
And I'm not even doing that in this case. I'm just mostly making the point that even when it doesn't work out to the level that we thought it would.
Do you think Aiden worked out to the level we thought it would? I don't.
I think you can't judge. We didn't bring Aiden in for 1 year.
Good point. Good point.
You know?
That's fair. That's a good point.
We absolutely did not. Like Chris, yeah, we brought him in thinking this guy was American Conference co-player of the year. Let's see how good he can be this year in Tuscaloosa. Aiden Holloway is, let's let him play with Mark Sears for a year. And obviously we didn't know that Mark was coming back when we landed Aiden. But it was, let's let him play with Mark. And then this guy is our starting point guard in the year 2026.
Of our Lord. All right.
Of our Lord.
Well, sweet. Couple new guys, couple new faces.
Gonna miss Mo.
Yeah.
Still upset.
So we'll find out what LeBaron's going to do. We'll find out what Darian Reed's going to do. We'll find out what Jaron Stevenson's going to do. Those are the three unknowns. My current guess is that LeBaron will return, is that Jaron will return, and that Darian Reed will transfer. That's just my gut feeling guess.
I think this LeBaron thing is going to drag out a long time.
I agree.
You know, so I think it's April 26th is the deadline to enter the draft. And then, or it might be, and then sometime in late May, that's the deadline to withdraw and return to college. Mark Sears, if you'll remember, and Jaron Stevenson, for some reason, both waited until the very last day last year to return.
I just want to see if an NBA team would give them a guarantee.
I think there's a very high likelihood of us sweating it out till that final day with LeBaron.
I agree. I definitely
agree. It would be dumb not to put your name in there at the very least, and at the very least get the feedback, because Mark Sears got a ton of feedback from scouts.
All right. Do you have class at 10? Do I have to wrap this up, or can I hit this last topic?
We can hit this last topic, and we're rolling to class a little late.
All right. So we've had a lot of fun here in the Derry Daniel State Farm Studios. We hope you guys have as well today. We're proudly sponsored by Warren Tire and Auto. They've been a Tuscaloosa and University of Alabama staple since 1961. You saw their commercial earlier with Russ Warren. They're in the third generation of family ownership with the Warrens. They're the go-to place for all your automotive needs with two great locations to serve you. For tires, brakes, and alignment, you can reach out to them on 15th Street at 205-759-5505. For all your other automotive needs, you can find them on University Boulevard at 205-758-2739. Two great locations and two really iconic parts of Tuscaloosa. They can get you in and out, back on the road, and back to your life very, very quickly. We appreciate Warren Tire and Auto for sponsoring the program, and we hope you see them for all your automotive needs. All right. Let's see. I'm skipping Corey Chess because that doesn't matter. Alabama did not get Corey Chess. He went to Ole Miss. That's a blessing for everyone. We're going to Jalen Milroe getting invited to the draft, because that was news as of late last night, early this morning. Former Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe is invited to the NFL draft, and this made me think, what? Don't go, Jalen. Do not go watch the draft in not Houston. Is he Houston? Yeah, he's outside of Houston. Go watch the draft with your family. with your friends. Because I don't want that Thursday night to be a long night for you, Jalen, and I'm worried. But apparently, the NFL only inviting, let's see, what, 8 to 10? Is that what I saw? 8 to 10?
They cut the number a lot.
We're inviting 10 people, I believe was what I saw, to the draft. And surely the NFL is inviting 10 first-round draft picks to the draft in Green Bay. Honestly, they're cutting it down because it's in Green Bay. There's not enough room in that podunk town for all the first-round draft picks. Jalen, do not go to Green Bay. Don't go up there. I mean, no, yes, a little bit silly because it's Bears and Green Bay stuff. But don't go up there. Don't save yourself the embarrassment. Who's taking him in the first round? The NFL is only inviting him because he's going to be a first-round draft pick. So they've done their scouting. They've done their like little behind the scenes. Some team loves him. Are the Steelers taking him in the first round?
I think they are.
Where are they picking?
The Steelers are great.
Yeah, I'll draft
18 to 22, somewhere in that neighborhood. Look, we have watched this guy play QB for 2 years, and
there's no way.
I don't care what you think of him at this point. You can talk whatever you want about him.
Steelers are at 21.
21. All right, I was correct on the 18 to 22.
Yeah.
You can say that, oh, he held this offense back, or oh, he didn't know what he was doing, or Jalen, what are you doing out there right now? There were a lot of head-scratching moments.
They're going to get...
Look at that potential.
You're going to get yourself fired. In 2.5 years, you're going to be fired if you take Jalen Milroe.
You do not see a world in which Jalen Milroe turns into a successful NFL QB.
None. And this is coming from I really take a long time to get out on players. Do you know how long I waited on Mitchell Trubisky?
How long?
Until the last year of his contract. The 2018 season where they won the division and double doinked, I was like, oh, that's good. And the next year, I was like, all right, yeah, we're going to go back to the playoffs. And they did. And it was a little better, a little worse. And the next year, it was like, no, I think this guy sucks. It was a long time. Same thing for Justin Fields. It was, oh, he's going to make it. It's going to click. It's going to click. It's going to click. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like, I have watched a lot of less than satisfactory quarterback play.
Mm-hmm. I'm a Giants fan. You're preaching to the choir here.
No, I don't think it. I mean, what? Everyone's given this the Jalen Hurts comparison, right? He can get better. What happened the year that he was benched? That Jalen Hurts got benched. He works with Enos, great, but you saw it. You saw a huge difference between I got benched to SEC championship game. I'm getting myself put back in the game because of injury. It was 2.5 quarters, right, of actually reading defenses, getting the ball out on time, and it's like, oh my God, he looks like a completely different quarterback. I haven't seen that kind of jump from Jalen Milroe. And then Hurts goes to Oklahoma and continues the jump forward, and like. The fella does not anticipate. He doesn't anticipate the throws. He has to see it before and like that just doesn't work in the NFL. It barely works in college. I don't know. So I'm that's where I am. Somebody's going to get themselves fired, taking him in the first round. But the news report seems to indicate that someone is taking him in the first round because why else would they be inviting him?
We know there's a laundry list of things for him to improve. Making faster reads is pretty high up.
Ball placement is the second part.
Yeah. There's a lot. To completely write off the idea that this guy can do it, I think is premature.
Okay, then I'll ask you, what are you clinging to outside of hope? Outside of I can fix him.
To this guy is an incredible athlete who throws.
No, yeah, but playing NFL, quarterback.
He throws an NFL level deep ball. I think he does.
Okay.
He has a good enough arm to succeed. And I think that in a league where QBs with his build, with his speed, are succeeding left and right. The upside is without a doubt there for, there are worse guys he could take in that situation.
Do you think he's as good a runner as Lamar Jackson?
I think he can be.
Ooh, okay, big disagree. Do you think he's a better runner than Josh Allen?
You just named
the two best
running QBs in the league.
Keep going. Who would be your next one? Do you think he's a better runner than Jalen Hurts?
I don't know that Jalen Hurts would be my number.
That's fine. I mean,
but yeah,
I'm just throwing guys out there.
I'm going to counter with one.
Please.
Is the only way for him to succeed for him to be a runner?
Yes.
At that level. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So we agree on that wherever he goes, running the ball like that will be he will be a dual threat in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, and this is why I think he's going to go in the first round, and this is why I feel strongly about it, and this is why if it's not Pittsburgh, it's going to be someone else. What move could the Pittsburgh Steelers make with pick 21 that would give them any shot at getting back to a Super Bowl?
Not taking Jalen Milroe would be a start. I'll say that.
What are they going to do with that pick? This is a team that has not had a losing season.
You take an offensive lineman. You take here. What's the strategy?
No.
BPA, best player available. You go to, and it's not. You do not take a quarterback just because you need one. Oh my God, that's a losing
quarterback
strategy.
because this guy is. You know what? He's an incredible athlete, and we're a team that is. We are a good football team in perpetuity. We can't get to that next level. Maybe, just maybe, this guy, after sitting under Aaron Rodgers for a year.
Dude, what?
Or after whatever they do, maybe he can go out.
We think Aaron Rodgers is going to mentor a rookie?
What? He did it with Jordan Love.
Terribly. He did it terribly with Jordan Love.
It worked. And
for Jordan, because Jordan made it work, not because Aaron did anything good.
Why can't Jalen make it work? Or why can't this coaching staff have an effect? Like they're
what I was trying to get at, what do you see in Jalen Milroe outside of just the athleticism that makes you think he can play quarterback in the NFL? Like you just told us, Giants fan.
Is a pretty big deal. It is a pretty big deal in the NFL in 2025 for a QB to be able to move like that.
But moving is the first part. But you also have to throw the football. You have to make the decision getting the ball out of your head.
And you know what? He has 1 year, probably 2, wherever he goes to learn how to do that. He has the opportunity to learn the very thing that you're complaining about him not being able to do.
Right. And he's had that opportunity for 4 years in Tuscaloosa and has, frankly, he failed at it at the college level. And now you're asking him to take the next course up and actually
3
master
offensive
it.
coordinators in 3 years is not easy for anyone. Right?
Sure, that's fine. But we're talking about basic fundamentals of accuracy and reading a defense and going from 1 to 2 to 3, time to time to time, connect my hips to my feet, to my arms, and make the throw. Like, Jalen
Milroe made some atrocious reads in his 2 years starting. I'm not denying that. There are some plays where he would release that ball, and you're just thinking to yourself, why is this guy starting for the
I just don't think he's a very good runner either. I think he's an overrated runner.
Why do you think that?
He's a straight line runner. He has no wiggle. No wiggle. He's a straight line runner without true power. He has power against smaller defenders where, hey, we're going to but like, hey, do you want to call quarterback power? You want to get behind the offensive line and call quarterback? No, you don't want to do that.
You don't think he could do that?
I think he can, but I think physically he can, but in the moment when you're asking him to do it, I just don't know that he embraces the toughness per se.
I've never seen anything out of Jalen Milroe in my 2 years watching to make me think this guy's not a tough football player.
You haven't seen him fold on the sidelines after things go bad? Mentally? You didn't watch the Oklahoma game then, because literally could not get himself out of his own brain on the sidelines. It was always just pout, pout, pout. When things go bad for him, it's worse, worse, worse. When things go good for him, it's, buddy, you ain't stopping me.
And obviously he's had that Oklahoma, and then the ReliQuest Bowl was atrocious. I'm not denying that. And that's a game where, yeah, you have to find a way mentally to get yourself out of it. But I'm not going to go out and say, oh, he's not a tough player or X.
That's fine, but okay, that's great. We're not going to condemn Jalen that much, but let me put it to you this way then, Theo. Would you stake your job on it, on him getting it? Because that's where we are here. And that's why I'm out. Okay. Would I be in on him if I was a Pee-wee coach, if I was middle school, high school, college? Sure, come be on my team. Great. But if my job relies on it, my wife, my non-existent wife and kids need me to stay employed, that's not what I'm betting on.
I think I got 3 takes on, or 3 quick points on this.
Perfect.
First of all, if not him, then who? Does Jackson Dart scream?
No, I'm passing on a quarterback.
Okay, so that's the first.
Because I'm not taking
any of these.
I'm not taking a quarterback. If my options are Jalen Milroe in the first round or not a quarterback, give me not a quarterback.
Secondly, how do teams win Super Bowls in the NFL in 2025? They very often win them with these young QBs on these rookie contracts. And you look at Pittsburgh right now. How in the world are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to win a Super Bowl? Anytime soon.
They need to build for it. They need to, what you do, to your point, you're exactly right. At 21, instead of taking a quarterback on a rookie deal, you take the best player available. Maybe it's a good corner, maybe it's a guard, maybe it's a tackle, and you build the team around him so that in 3 years, in 2 years, next year, when the Steelers have had maybe their worst year in 2 decades, and they went 6-11. Well, buddy, now we have enough assets, and that number 21 pick that was an offensive lineman that we took can protect our Arch Manning this year, can protect our insert next quarterback. Like,
that's no sure thing. Like, you can't just come in thinking, yeah, whoever we take is going to be a meaningful player, because we know that NFL draft picks don't work like that.
Yeah, here's what I saw. What's the Jake Locker draft?
2013.
Right, perfect. Thank you very much. So 2013 draft order.
That was EJ Manuel, right? 8th overall. That was a very bad QB class.
Exactly. And this is where we are here. If you are, where's my list here? All right, perfect. I'm looking at the Titans specifically. That's not the right year. 24.
Was that? I thought it was EJ Manuel going.
Jake Locker draft class was, you were, Jake Locker was 2011. Yeah, okay, perfect.
Oh.
So 2011 draft order.
Jake Locker's a little older than I'd realized.
So if you're the Tennessee Titans, because this is important here, I'm taking Jake Locker at number 8, or I'm taking perennial Pro Bowler left tackle Tyron Smith at number 9, or 2 picks later, I'm taking perennial Pro Bowl defensive end J.J. Watt at 11. And like, you can keep going. We can take Mike Pouncey, inside linebacker, or interior line. Robert Quinn, defensive lineman, really good player. Ryan Kerrigan was a really good player. Prince Amukamara was above average cornerback. Like, you can go down the list. Cam Jordan, defensive end for the Saints, was in this draft. James Carpenter had a nice little career at offensive line. Like, do not just reach for a quarterback because you need one. You are passing on Mark Ingram here, who had himself a nice little career. Like, you're passing on so much quality here. What's this little legend here? Oh, yeah, that legend is Pro Bowler. How many Pro Bowlers are behind Jake Locker? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 12. Like, keep going. Like, it does not matter. You do not. Justin Houston is taken in the 3rd round in this draft.
For every success that you're naming, there's one who didn't pan out. There's one who.
But we can do this with the whole draft outside of Cam Newton in this quarterback class. We got Jake Locker and Blaine Gabbert. The Jags did it too at 10. The Jags went Blaine Gabbert instead of J.J. Watt. The Vikings take Christian Ponder because we need a quarterback. We don't know who we're going to take. The Vikings take Christian Ponder at 12 instead of, you could have just taken Pro Bowl center Mike Pouncey. And sure, you probably would have had replacement level X quarterback veteran for $6 million, and you probably would have won three games. But the season's the exact same, but you're more talented. You still need a quarterback if you're taking Blaine Gabbert. You still look, Steelers. If you take Jalen Milroe, that's fine. You can do that. But next year, you will need another quarterback. You want to say you want to extend it another year and say, well, in 2 years we want to be fair. Fine, you will need another quarterback. So what do you want to do? It's your choice. I mean, you feel free to disagree.
If you are,
but if you're the Titans in 2011, they take Jake Locker. When do you think they took the next starting quarterback?
Well, they took Mariota a couple years later.
Exactly.
Okay. Two can play at this game, though, because I can give you examples of, give you a very prominent example of a team who was good consistently in the playoffs with average QB play that very easily could have used their top 10 pick or it was just a regular first rounder at the time. They turned it into a top 10 pick. And I hate the fact that we have to make this argument just to get this point across. But, they could have used their first round pick to add a talented player to bolster their roster. They could have done it your way. No, they selected Patrick Mahomes. Turned it into a dynasty. I am in no way, shape, or form comparing Jalen Milroe to Patrick Mahomes. What I am saying, though, is that in this NFL, there is a certain formula that has worked for teams and allowed them to win Super Bowls. That rookie QB that you take when you have a good team, you let him sit. A year later or 2 years later, you hand him the reins. Does not have a bad success rate. There's a difference between the Steelers and that Tennessee Titans team you're talking about, and
not much.
Were the Titans fresh off of 20 straight years without a losing season? No. We have never seen a team sustain this level of success. And this is the part where you kind of have to start risking jobs, because I guarantee you, Steelers fans are not happy right now.
They're going to be even more angry watching 2 years of Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, but you have to take that risk at this point. You can't. You're not just going to sit around.
No.
You accept your 9-8 seasons.
No, you tell the fans what it is. You tell the fans, hey, brother, we're not going to BS you by drafting a quarterback and telling you this is the guy for the future. We're going to tell you we're going to be bad next year. We're not going to be that good, but it's okay. We're in team building. We haven't been bad for many years. You'll be fine. We're just team building.
I'm not an NFL scout. You are not an NFL scout. At the end of the day, none of us, and even the NFL scouts, can't tell us if Milroe. You cannot tell me for certain that you do not see a world where Jalen Milroe, with all his athletic gifts, finds a way to succeed in the NFL. I don't want to hear that at all.
All right, put me on freezing cold takes. I do not see a world where Jalen Milroe succeeds as an NFL quarterback.
I think if I had to bet money on it, I would bet on.
I mean, you are betting money on it. It's your job. You're betting your own money on it if you're an NFL GM.
More likely than not, Jalen Milroe probably will never be a starting QB in the NFL at a high level. That is how I feel after having watched him play QB at Alabama for 2 seasons. I can very clearly recognize that he has the potential to do it. I can also very clearly recognize that if he was put into the right system, given a chance to sit down, given a chance to learn, develop his game, it would greatly enhance the chances of that happening. I also recognize that NFL teams have succeeded by doing this. And I think you have to acknowledge that at the end of the day, this is a move that raises a team's ceiling if it works out. And that is what you risk your job for in the NFL. A chance to get to that next level, a chance to break through, a chance to land a superstar at the most important position in sports. That is what NFL scouts have decided that Jalen Milroe could potentially be. That's all this is right here. It's that simple.
All right, Theo, you're getting yourself fired if you're an NFL GM. Like, seriously. But you've been great today. We're getting out of here for the week. You got to go to class. We didn't really hear you that well last week, so anything you want to leave the people with over. Oh, hey, we did catch up with Dax at New Era Wrestling. I'll talk about New Era Wrestling tomorrow with Mason, but just wanted to shout Dax out for meeting us over there. And do you have something for Dax?
Yeah, I mean,
anything?
I promised it, right?
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting out of here. Look, here's how we say your piece and then tell everybody goodbye. That's what we'll talk to you tomorrow on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com. That's the exit.
Okay,
all right.
So I'm wrapping this. I'm taking this thing home.
You
right
got
here.
it. You got
okay.
it. I'm getting out of the way.
Well, J.D. Davison, G League MVP, incredible season, had 34 points, 11 assists. Unfortunately, the Maine Celtics saw their season end. Now, I still wish it was the Red Claws. I hate the fact that G League teams all got to be the same as their NBA counterparts because Red Claws was awesome. That's besides the point. But J.D. Davison, incredible campaign. Now he goes to Boston. The Celtics have 4 games left on the year. He is eligible once the playoffs hit because he's on a 2-way contract. He can't play at all. So we'll probably see him in these 4 games in some capacity. Keon Ellis. He had 11 or 13, I forget, but very impactful player. Threw down a monster alley-oop, and I'll tell you, the Sacramento Kings are kind of putting things together a little. Kind of. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but Keon Ellis is still leading the team in PER, I believe, and he is so clearly just a high-impact player. He's a guy who I think the stretch of this season has proven that he is not going anywhere in the league. Like he'll be around for the next 6, 7, 8 years. It really looks that way. So we really are about to be done with the Bama in the NBA stuff because not a ton of impactful players in the playoffs.
Only a couple weeks left, like 4 games, you said.
And
so
there's no one who's going to really have any role. Ellis is going to be one of the only guys even in the playoffs.
Well, that'll make your job really easy,
It
especially
will.
if they go out.
The Kings probably don't make it out of the play-in. I'll be very surprised if they do, but he's had an impressive run. Alex Reese is still getting around 10 minutes a night. Noah Clowney might be in a lot of trouble because Drew Timme has basically come in and taken his role better than he played it. I don't know what the outlook is for Clowney right now. Yeah, it's not ideal. Herb Jones and Brandon Miller are probably in PT together right now, just hanging out. But that will do it for the Joe Gaither Show Monday. Had a great time, and I will see you all next week.
So my name is Russ Warren, and I'm one of the owners here at Warren Tire. We started in 1961. My granddad on University Boulevard, so we've been kind of a staple here in the Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama community since then. And so thankful to be in the 3rd generation. And we have 2 locations now in Tuscaloosa. We're right here at the 15th Street location right now where we just do tires, brakes, and alignments mostly here. Our university location does oil changes, engine work, air conditioning work, front end work, the whole 9 yards. And so any of our 2 locations, you can come check us out.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither 6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.